Hi, Jonathan York from Bay Financial Partners, looking at investment markets. Really pretty interesting week. We've got President Trump giving his first State of the Union speech. It's really going to be quite interesting to see, what sort of context is in there, and what sort of points he sort of raises. Obviously, he's going to take credit for the booming U.S. economy, but really how much of that is actually to do with his administration, it's a bit of a moot point. One thing, obviously has been good, certainly his tax cuts will put more money into the US economy. That economy is still pushing on at a pretty good rate. We still expect the Fed to have 3 rate increases this year. And it's just going to be very interesting now as sort of the Fed, he's looking at trying to sort of get interest rates back to a more neutral level without scaring the economy. Obviously, we're going to see a changing of the guard at the Fed with Powell coming in and Yellen stepping down. Don't really expect too much change initially, but it's just going to be interesting to see if Jay Powell really does sort of try and exert his own sort of personality on the Fed. In terms of levels, the Dow sort of hovering around that 26,000 level. That's sort of pretty key. In terms of bonds in the US, the 10-year 3% yield is pretty sort of key. Currently trading around sort of 280 and change, and it's just going to be interesting really once we do get up to around that sort of 3%, see how the market sort of takes it. There's been a lot of talk as well, recent comments from various officials, really the state of the dollar, and more importantly, whether it should be strengthening or weakening. President Trump has come out and sort of appeared to sort of contradict Mnuchin's comments about potentially a weaker dollar. He said he's looking for a stronger dollar, and it's interesting as well that he's sort of making the real point that it's not America first and America only. It's America working with the rest of the global economy, and if America's doing well, then normally the global economy does well as well. Another interesting announcement this morning has been a potential sort of tie-up with Amazon, Berkshire Hathaway, and JP Morgan to try and address sort of US healthcare and insurance, etc. That'll be really interesting to see how this sort of potential sort of tie-up and sort of union sort of works. Potentially it could really seriously change the sort of face of US healthcare and medical insurance in the US. And just be very interesting really to see how it sort of all sort of plays through over the fullness of time. As yet details are a little bit sketchy, but if you look at the three organisations, obviously, the huge employers. So if you just look at putting their workers through their sort of potential plan, potentially the savings could be pretty massive. Then they look to roll that out to the general public. Sort of watch this space. Really pretty interesting. Some of the healthcare providers in the US are under a little bit of pressure this morning. I say details are a little bit light at the moment, but it'd just be interesting to see how it sort of plays through. Oil under a little bit of pressure, back through that sort of $65. Again, I think it's just a sort of to and fro of the market, really. You probably only get a little bit concerned if he starts getting back through 60. A little more interest being started to take on the sort of cryptocurrency, and more importantly, the exchanges he's traded on. A little bit more regulation and investigation going on to some of these exchanges and the sort of e-wallets, and it's going to be very interesting to see the fallout from that. Rest of the sort of global economy still pushing on a pretty good rate. Europe's doing okay. Asia's pretty good. and again looking to sort of push on reasonable sort of price earnings ratios on the sort of stocks, and just expecting the market to grind a little bit higher out there. Here in New Zealand, for investors still looking for income, with bonds a little bit low in terms of sort of yields, and locking in some pretty low yields for sort of 5 or 7 years. So if you are interested in the discussion what options are available, call us on 0800 867 323 or go to the website www.bayfinancialpartners.co.nz for lots of interesting articles. We look forward to speaking to you soon.